Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Well, welcome to everybody, wherever you may be getting this. I'm Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is the green girl.
Oh my goodness. She's in rare form tonight, folks. Miss the little leprechaun is in rare form tonight. The little leprechaun is here with me tonight. Welcome to you all, wherever you may be getting, whether you're getting from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from Twitter, from IG, from YouTube. For those who might be first timers, we're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. I'm Dr. Willie Jolley. This is Taylor-Jolley. I wrote a couple books that have done very well, thank God for. A setback is a setup for a comeback. It only takes a minute to change your life. Turn setbacks into greenbacks, green, and the Attitude of Excellence. A few of the books that I've written, I'm working on a few more. Now,
let's get to it.
Let's get right. We got a lot to pack in a little bit of time today.
Okay, so we're both wearing green. His is kind of like army green, so you can't see the dirt. That's why they call it army green.
Oh, Lord. Army.
And I'm not quite emerald, but this is emerald green. And that's in anticipation because Friday is March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day. So just quickly, I thought that's the educator in me about, okay, St. Patrick's Day. Why the green, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an annual holiday. Well, it's the annual celebration day that didn't start out as a celebration. It actually started out as learning about Irish culture. That's how it started. And the person was a person. St. Patrick was born during the 4th century on March 17, so the story goes. March 17, 461. Oh my God, 461.
No, he died on
he died March. Well, that's why they celebrate. They celebrate his death.
Yeah.
On March 17, 461. And he was the one who was one of the early people who attempted to bring Christianity to the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that he was the kind of person who gently tried to persuade people and not to force his religious views on others, but with kindness, I guess, and forethought, introduced to Christianity to many. So he died on March 17th.
There you go. And that's how he's saying.
Okay, and so we moved from it with this religious focus to let's have a rousing good time. Okay?
green beer, green in the water, green everything.
And the food is, that's where you get the where was this? This is where you get
corned beef and cabbage.
Corned beef and cabbage, which I don't eat.
My father loved corned beef and cabbage. That was his favorite meal.
And baked soda bread. I don't know what that is either.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so when you think about this Friday, and you see all the people in the green and the leprechauns and these things, that it didn't start out just as a party.
Well, no.
Right?
It started out as a celebration of a good person who may change the impact. So, want to do that? Let me take a couple minutes.
Christian impact.
Senior Terrence said, simply buy the book, 2 or more. Help open the door of love for you and others.
Spontaneous or scheduled intimacy.
Ooh.
Okay, so we've got lots of subtitles. One subtitle is Scheduled Intimacy May Just Save Your Marriage. Do you have spontaneous intimacy in sex, or do you schedule it? And which one is preferable? Does anybody have any suggestions?
Right.
Or do you have an opinion? What's your opinion, Willie Jolley?
My opinion is, let's get it on. Oh, baby, let's get it on.
You got 2 categories.
Oh.
Spontaneous or scheduled. In which camp do you fall?
I fall in the, well, you know what? At this age in my life, I tend to fall into a schedule position. Used to be a spontaneous thing, but now it's more scheduled.
You know, the research says it depends.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and we've got two categories. We got the category.
Terrence said good marriage should have both. I'm with that, Terrence. Okay, I'm with that. You know, sometimes the spontaneity of it all is woo-hoo-hoo.
But it can be so two camps.
Okay.
That one which has children growing and developing and running all around the house.
Right.
And the other one is that, okay, the kids have now left the nest.
Yep.
And what you going to do with yourselves.
Right.
Okay. So let's deal with the first one.
Welcome, Jerome Washington. Thank you for being here.
Yes. And let's deal with, now I have been marinating on this topic for a couple of weeks, really. I was kind of like excited about it and doing research about which one is preferred, schedule, intimacy and sex versus spontaneity.
Oh, but there's another point about this. I got to give this about men, older men. Like the old man said to me in his 80s down in Columbia, South Carolina. He said, when you get my age, young man, he says, don't forget this. Never pass a bathroom without using it. Never trust a fart. And never waste a woody. Oh my God. I said, what did you say? He said, never wait. When your body says yes, you better go make it happen right there. So Michael Burns, welcome. So that also plays a part in it. You know, we got to talk about it real for real.
Okay. So there are two environments. One, when you have kids in the house, you've got school-age kids and the like, and the other is when you are in the older group.
That's right.
And this was an interesting observation because I got to actually see it on Sunday.
Yeah.
So Sunday was my brother's birthday and we were all together. Saturday we had dinner together. Sunday we went to church together. And we went to church together at the church where my brother's son is an assistant associate pastor, all of this. But what I found interesting was what happened immediately after service. So immediately after service, and we're hugging each other and we're starting to go our separate ways. My brother back to Virginia, his daughter back to Virginia, his son back to participate in a third service, and his 3 kids and wife going home. And so my niece says to me, bye, Auntie, and I'll be back next weekend because we're babysitting for my brother so he and his wife can have a date. Now, they're young. Their kids are 2, 5, and 10. There is no time. You really have to catch it when you can for intimacy and anything else. You think back when the kids were young. You're like, oh, who's coming in the bedroom? But in this case, because their schedules are so busy and because my nephew works crazy hours and the weekend is gone and you got a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 10, where are you going to have time to whisper sweet nothings in somebody's ear?
Right.
By the time you lay your head down, you're asleep. Right. So,
welcome,
funny,
Lori Burns and Mark Stevens. Good to have you, buddy.
And so funny as I get to observe all these little kids crawling over you, they're climbing, they're hugging, they're talking, they're reading, they're texting. And what was so funny when the 2-year-old says to my brother, Grandpa, give me your cell phone number. I was like, what did he say? Give me your cell phone number. So I said to my brother, does he call you on the cell phone? He said he does. And the phone is like all upside down. He says, no, I'm not. And when he gives him the cell phone number, he doesn't know what he did with it. That was the cutest thing. But they're all over you. So by the time you spend time with these kids, you are broke down. The only thing you can do is go to sleep.
Yes.
So my nephew and his wife are wise enough to say, we must have time away. That's planned.
Yeah.
That's planned intimacy.
That's right.
So when you have kids, you don't have time for yourself.
They suck up all the air.
You're busy raising them. What a great practical example. And they poured everything into the kids. When we were having dinner and the kids are crawling over what's on your plate. I know I don't want this. No, I want somebody else. What's on the cell phone? Oh my goodness.
So that is one of the reasons why in our book, we talk about in chapter number 9, always date your mate. Why it's so critically important that every couple, please couples listen to this, have a weekly date night. Now, you raise the kids, you train the kids, you develop them into understanding this is mommy and daddy time. And so we started that. And someone encouraged us to do it because we were doing what other parents do. Let the kids take all of your time. And so they said, make sure you get a weekly date night, and then you share with the kids that this is mommy and daddy time, and you kind of train them into this is that.
Now it doesn't have to be away. They're very fortunate. They're going away for the weekend.
No, but
we started out, we didn't have any money to go away.
We had no money.
And when you started traveling, you were away, but I was here with the kids.
Right. So when I was home, here's what our deal was: 9 o'clock Thursday night was date night. William by that time would be in bed. But LaToya, our older daughter, she was a tween or a teen, early teen. So we would say to her, look, when the doors open, we're watching television. This is our date time. Now, you can walk by, go to the bathroom, you go get a glass of water, whatever, but this is our time, okay? And we are trying to have a little time. And we had 2 rules. We couldn't talk about the kids and what they were doing, and we couldn't talk about the bills. We didn't have either one of them when we
So it's very important for couples with children.
Yeah.
Number one, to find time because you're working.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You're working all these hours. You come home and then the kids have not seen you. If one parent is in the house all the time and the other parent is working, or maybe both are. You pick the kids up, you get home, you've got dinner, you've got homework. And they want time with you. Yeah. And so now, you have
Terrence, as a co-worker of his, said that his wife, the husband and wife, get a babysitter for a couple hours. That might be a way, but if you don't have no money, like we didn't have no babysitter, we had no money for no babysitter. We did not have money for a babysitter. No, we didn't have no babysitter money. So what we did was train them, and what was and
that's a good thing.
And after a while, it took. Yeah, but after a while, it took, and they knew, oh, this is mommy and daddy time. Now the door was open, but they can walk by, and William was always, like I said, in bed already. But and over time, LaToya would just go in her room, and that was our time. Okay.
So if you're not careful and set aside, or maybe you have a brother or a sister that your kids love, and they can step in and be a weekend
or a mother,
babysitter,
or a friend, or somebody. A
grandparent,
support system,
like Ronnie and Lynn,
right? A support system, so you can have a little
for their
time with your mate. But what happened if because some people are in a situation where they're in a city by themselves, they don't have any support system, and so that's where you have the date night, and then you might
have the in-house date night, which is really what we had.
That's right. What we're saying. And then you schedule midnight. Midnight, get it on. Woohoo!
So after
set an alarm.
So after you've had a chance to rest, because you need a respite.
Yes.
So that you can have a frolic.
I like frolic.
Thank you.
That's a good word.
I'm trying to be very tactful.
Yes.
Socially acceptable.
Frolic in the sheets.
Frolic. Yes.
I love that.
Between the sheets. Right.
Frolic between the sheets.
Right.
I love that. Okay.
Right. So that's for the young people. Now you have to say, well, okay. So now my kids are grown. Why do I need to schedule stuff? Oh, I have an answer for you. Because you can develop the romance.
That's right. That's right. Romantic inclination. You think about it. Also, let's talk real talk. Real talk. Sometimes, for the brothers, they might need a little help. They need a little help, and that help might come in the form of a pill or a drop in some juice. There's ashwagandha, there's eleuthero, there's honey goat weed. There are a lot of natural things that people have at health food stores that will help you to be more able to handle whatever you want to get into. And so there's a lot of, the older you get, the harder it is for your body to respond as it did when it was a 20-year-old. Let's call it like it is. And some gentlemen suffer from ED. And so when that happens, know that there still are options. I read somewhere today that there are always options and that you can think through this. So it's important to communication throughout the day as well.
Your body is constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
As we change and we grow older.
And you talk about women. You said that women need to sometimes prepare.
So why schedule intimacy and sex for older folks? And older, according to a lot of the information, is anything that's 50 or more, because your body is changing.
AARP send you that stuff at 50?
Yes.
You're going to get something at 50.
A lot of the information from AARP, oh my goodness, if I'd had it when I was 30 and 40, would have made a world of difference.
Yeah. That's why one of the things the AARP, and I want to take a moment to give them a shout out, that they are actually marketing to a younger demographic to give them some of the benefits, that the great benefits that AARP has.
But they have
incredible
excellent information.
Excellent.
For example, okay, so why schedule?
AARP, y'all call us. I want to make sure y'all part of this, that we market and promote y'all, because we like y'all.
So why is scheduling sex for older folks? It might be even more important. For one, for like Willie said, perhaps there's a need for more preparation time because things move a little slower. Doesn't mean it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means it needs a longer period of time to get it going.
That's right.
So it might be the pill for the women. It might be the creams. And sometimes with some of those creams that can be over the counter or it can be prescribed, and you have to figure out which one will work best for you. And that takes time.
Yeah, and
so you experiment.
Communication.
Did you like that one? No, I didn't like that cream. No, try this one.
And Terrence says communication.
Everything.
But you also got to communicate with your doctors and with your, I guess, women with their gynecologists, so that you can say, here's what's going on. Because many people feel there's such a taboo about talking about sex because of all of the limitations over the years from their church, from where they grew up, and now they have a hard time talking about it. Okay.
Well, I think also because in America we glorify only that which is young, not knowing that one day you will not be like that. You will be older. What kind of help? Does that mean I'm dried up, old, and of no longer use? No.
No.
So they sell us the bill, a bill of goods to say, this is how you do it, and only when you're young. That is not the case.
Nope. We gotta test that.
So more time to prepare so that you can experiment, get the right kind of pills, the right kind of creams, and then also setting the mood. So by the fact that you have a time to be intimate, you can use your mind, because your mind is powerful.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
You can anticipate and you can set the mood.
Yes, you can. Say some Barry White, baby.
So set the mood and create the fantasies, what goes on in your head.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That is appealing. And it's also less intimidating when you perform because you're not under pressure. Oh my God, I've got to get in the back of the car. Yeah, we won't talk about getting it in the back of the car. That was a whole nother several generations ago, right?
Yes.
When people were, a quickie. You don't do that anymore.
We don't. Now, I don't know what other people do, but we ain't doing that. No. I done paid all that money for that big fancy custom bed. Oh, no.
Right, so it's less intimidating.
Yes.
And you have time to relax and enjoy each other's bodies.
Yeah.
And it's good when you enjoy each other's bodies, as well as the bumps and the bruises. Well, I'll say bruises, but the bumps and the lumps and the other things.
That's right.
And it creates a tenderness and a caring.
That's right.
And you can also then find other ways to love each other. And I will say this, that doesn't always have to require penetration. I actually read that.
I read it too. Now, I'm not quite as familiar with that because I was always trying to chase you.
Okay. So
right. Anyway.
So we're not. They're saying there are
but there are other ways. That's right.
And
how creative can you be in that process?
It is between the couple, between the married couple, and what the marriage bed is not defiled.
That's right. The marriage
so
bed
you're
is
married,
not defiled.
and you have to learn.
That's what the Bible says.
And you have to learn how to enjoy each other, like kissing your arm, your neck, all that. Is that a turn on for you?
Yeah.
How do you know unless you try it? Right?
That's right.
Or perhaps unbuttoning and undressing your partner.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But you have time to do that.
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about. So there are two, the younger generation, they definitely need to have scheduled time because they have no time for intimacy and they're running in opposite directions. And then the older generation, now I need more time so that I can prepare my body to be able to enjoy each other.
I think that's so, man. But I go back to what Terrence said earlier. It is best when you have not this or that, but both. Okay, it's this and that. And so I'm a believer in this and that. If the spirit hits and the feeling hits and the
earth, and it works and everything works,
working, let it roll. But if you need a little time, y'all schedule it. Okay, and don't be ashamed to talk about it. I think one of the things that married couples often won't talk about sex because of all of their suppositions.
What they did before they got married.
Well, they might not have talked about it though. They might have done it, but they didn't talk about it. What do you like? What pleases you? Some guys think they know all the answers. I got it. I'm big baller, shot caller. I'm big daddy. Well, you know what? Listen a little bit. Listen to your mate. And be willing to say, let's have communication about this. Let's talk.
Again, it is how you speak to each other in a loving, kind tone. And you know what? Sometimes people need help in even understanding and knowing what kind words to say, like, sweetie.
Terrence said, I think a great topic would be, what is intimacy?
You know what? And there are different kinds of intimacy.
That's right. There are different types of intimacy. I just read about the different types. There's spiritual intimacy, physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, intellectual intimacy, and there's one more. There was 5 of them, I believe. I know it was experiential. Experiential intimacy. Okay.
And experiential deals more with the millennials in terms of creating experiences that they can share, even
so let's say spiritual,
even in terms
physical,
of everything, everywhere,
experiential,
all at one time, like a movie that won all the awards. Crazy.
Yeah. So they're the experiences that, and we have had some experiential intimacy times.
So when we think of intimacy, I think initially you're always thinking of the physical.
Yeah, but there are more ways, and the more you talk about it, again, communicate.
Intellectual, like Willie is stimulating intellectually too. So it's not just the physical.
Well, let me tell people. I tell people the reason I married Dee was because she was intriguing intellectually. Now I was a man about town. I had.
Is that to put it mildly?
That's anyway, and I was well known to be a man who had a number of lady friends.
Let me say, and I really didn't know that. I did not know that he was a man about town initially.
All right, so, but what attracted me to Dee? Well, of course, she was beautiful and she was sexy, but really attracted me because I know a lot of beautiful women. It was the intellectual stimulation, what we talked about. We would talk for long times about ideas. To talk about people, about things, what kind of car you drive. I had old beat up Volkswagen at that point. But
I had a sports car.
Yes, you did. But I talked to her about ideas. And we would talk about ideas. And I actually hired her for my company before we started actually getting seriously dating. I hired you as a consultant because she was smart. And over time, it just grew. All right. Looks like our time is just about up.
Okay. I want to emphasize a couple of things. So we have our March guest.
Okay.
Our March guest is Ed Fulbright.
Is Genevia going to be on with him?
I don't know yet.
That might be nice.
I don't know yet. I did ask.
All right.
So they are CPAs. Genevia goes to bed at like 7 o'clock. Because I did bring that up to him last month. He says, well, I don't know. But we're going to talk about, because this is tax time.
Yeah. Okay.
And one of the questions that we're going to ask is it always wise to have a joint return?
All right.
Isn't that something?
And how does the money and the taxes and all of that impact your marriage and your relationship and your intimacy? Because one of the things that breaks down people having intimacy is that they are having money issues and they start to argue. Please, everybody, do a couple favors for us. Please, 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 please go to jollymarriage.com. Watch our Jolley Marriage TED Talk on how to never, ever argue again in marriage. Please watch it and then share it with at least 10 people. 10
if you don't
people.
watch it, share it.
Yeah, or even if you don't watch it. Thank you, Michael Burns. I love you both. Your combined laugh is powerful. Thank you so much.
You.
And second, I want you to, one, watch the TED Talk, share it. And number two, if you don't have the book, get 2 copies. Go to Jolley Marriage, get 2 copies, one for you and one for your significant other. And
or they can always download if they want.
Or download digital.
They might not have a significant other.
All right, so people all over the world now can get it in digital. We got it on digital. We got a Jolley Marriage. So get it right now. Go to Jolley Marriage. You can get a digital download for our friends in Nigeria, our friends in Australia, our friends in New Zealand, our friends in Japan, friends in Paris. We've had people all over the world join us on these Monday nights. You are so cute with this little green on. I tell you, she's a cutie pie. But look, folks, I want to thank y'all for being with us tonight. Go to jollymarriage.com. Send us info at williejolly.com.
Any questions?
Info at williejolly.com. Questions you want us to talk about, to bring up in our marriage show. And then sponsors. We're starting to start to reach out now. We want sponsors who want to be involved with a show that talks to married couples. So if you got a sponsor or you know of some sponsors, tell them we are now in the process of opening up our sponsorship opportunity. So be in touch with us at info at williejolly.com. All right. Happy St. Patty's Day. And yeah, Terrence said you moved and hit us with 2 styles tonight. You're right about that. Terrence. All right. Thank y'all.
You guys.
Here we go.
Us.
God bless y'all.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.